coming to you from Forager Brewery in Rochester, our town. Hey, welcome to Our Town, the show about Rochester. I'm Eric Olson. We have a great show today. Music, poetry, and poultry. That's right. Stay with us for the poultry. It's going to be great. But first, Our Talk. The Commission is an organization in Rochester that caters to young professionals in our town. They hold monthly think tank meetings. Sunny Prabhakar is here today to tell us what they're thinking about next. Do you want to be called a think tank? It's a little formal.
So it's the Commission Think Tank Series, and for this event, we do multiple monthly events.
Sure.
For this event specifically, we bring a community leader, a business leader to come speak, and we're able to have a think tank because we have a huge question and answer period where we get a lot of different ideas and try to get some more knowledge coming through there.
Now the group is the Commission, and it sounds foreboding if you haven't heard of it before.
Right.
It's a young generation think group and issue topics, solutions. What do you do?
Yeah, so I mean, our goal is to make a lasting impact on Rochester by creating sustainable programs through relationship building, mentorship, and professional development. So we have committees surrounding those three key principles, and those committees are getting inside the high schools. They're doing events like the Think Tank Series. They're building relationships with events like Cards and Coffee, which takes place here actually at Forager, this last one. So.
And you're looking at a certain age group, a demographic. Is there much of a difference between what folks my age, 55 and older in Rochester, what they think about the city, and what younger folks who are maybe moving here, haven't lived here before? Is there a disconnect there?
I think there probably is a little bit of difference of opinion on where some of the things should go, but what's nice about the Commission is we're not restrictive. There's no age limit that says if you're under 45 you can join, and if you're over 45 you can't. What we say is if you self-identify as a young professional, you're more than welcome to come, and if you come to any of our events, you'll see there's a wide range of ages that we have to actually come. So we get to hear a good difference of opinion.
And when you have an issue, you decide on a topic, how do you interface that with the community leadership or city government, or depending on what topic you're talking about?
I think we really pay attention to what the subscribers of the Commission through Facebook and through our website and through social media are saying and what they're paying attention to when we post things. And then we try to get a leader to come and talk about that topic. So our next one that's coming up on May 7th is talking about adaptive reuse and activating existing spaces. So spaces like Forager that Sean Allen and Annie Henderson have reactivated. We want to see how we can do more of that in Rochester, like the Conley Mass building from downtown.
That is such a huge issue. You hit the nail on the head with that, with DMC coming.
Right.
And I know there's a lot of folks are concerned. I love this building or that building, and that uncertainty about what's happening in the future. So it's a very timely topic. What have you learned about it?
I think there's a lot of opportunity in Rochester. There's a lot of vacant spaces and some prime real estate, and you don't need to have $10 million to build up a new building. Sometimes there's some really great concepts that can come out for a lot lower the price. Now there are a lot of challenges and issues when you're doing adaptive reuse from building and safety perspective and getting things up to code and those kind of things. And I think that Sean and Andy have a really interesting perspective on how they were able to overcome some of those challenges to put a restaurant into where a grocery store used to be. That's pretty impressive.
I was talking to the mayor, Mayor Brady, not long ago, and he said, in his crystal ball, 15 years from now, the vibe, the feel of Rochester will probably be entirely different than what generations have had in the past because of the influx of new ideas and new people. Is that something that you go along with? Do you believe that's true too?
100% agree, and I think that for all the criticism that DMC gets, what we are doing is we're intentionally planning the next 20 years. Then from 20 years before to now, we grew 40,000 people. We're going to do the same thing in the next 20 years, but now we have an opportunity to really plan that out and put some strategic places in place so that we can really grow and get some energy going on in the city.
And can somebody go to your event, say May 7th, even if they're not a member, quote unquote, of the Commission? How does one get involved?
Yeah, so there's no fee to pay to become a member. Basically, it's how involved you want to be. And so it's free and it's open always. All of our events are always free and open to the public. So anyone can come and check it out, no matter how old you are or how young you are. So.
And how would they best, we'll put the information on our website. How do they interact?
Facebook is probably the best
Okay.
way, and it's facebook.com/507commission. We do have a website, but it's currently in progress. We're trying to update some things
You're
on
building
there.
it for the future.
We're building for the future. This is a volunteer organization, right? We all have full-time jobs, but we're committing a lot of time to this because we believe in Rochester and we want to see it progress and grow.
And you know, folks, if the whole thing doesn't work out for the commission with Sunny, I don't know if you can see this, but a little modeling here with your bride. Talk about this in Rochester Magazine.
Well, there's a great person in the community, you know, Jen Kowski, who reached out to us, and it was a really great experience. I suggest if you ever hear from Jen, do it. You know, don't think twice because they make it really easy.
Oh, it looks lovely. It looks wonderful. Congratulations on this
Thank you.
for the commission.
Thank you.
Our Town is brought to you in part by the following amazing people and organizations.
Clements Subaru proudly partners with award-winning KSMQ Public Television. Clements Subaru of Rochester. Clements' clear value promise is to make buying a car fast, fair, and simple. The University of Minnesota Rochester, an undergraduate health sciences university offering education designed to change tomorrow's healthcare. University of Minnesota Rochester, always in the heart of our community.
And the members of KSMQ Public Television. Thank you.
Think tanks. Cool. I'm thinking that you should stick around for the rest of the show. We have Brad Jones from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, who is deputizing all of you to help host visitors in Rochester. Jennifer Rogers meets 3 beautiful country gals hanging out in the city. And if you love music, you should thank Daisy Plummer for getting things rolling back in 1912. But first, let's check out how 3 local poets expressed themselves during National Poetry Month.
My name is Danny Solis, and I live in Rochester now. I wrote my first poem when I was 5 years old. Major influences include Dr. Seuss, Patricia Smith, John Coltrane, Anne Sexton, Vincent van Gogh, and all the food my mother ever made. 30 for 30 during National Poetry Month is the attempt to write a poem every single day for all 30 days of April. I understand, I've recently been told, that this is the 20th anniversary of 30 for 30. And I found out about 30 for 30 about 10 years ago and never tried to do it until about 3 or 4 years ago and discovered that it must have been invented by a sadist. Because trying to write a poem when you're not inspired is like trying to eat when you're not hungry.
I did find that what it forces you to do is to become more aware of not only the things around you that you might write about, but it also forces you to take maybe a small moment, like having a wonderful cup of hot chocolate and writing. Are they all great poems? No. But I think what happens as a result of 30 days of writing is some are small, some are large, and we were just talking about editing, and do you go back and expand or not? I'm Debbie Novell, and I live here in Rochester. I've been writing as long as I can remember. My love for poetry in particular started when I was little, and I would shut myself in our attic, and fortunately there were leather-bound volumes of all the classics up there stowed away by an aunt and uncle who never came back to retrieve them. So I learned from the greats when I was about in 3rd, 4th grade, and I've been writing since. Life gets in the way sometimes, the words scrambling around in my brain, so they go down the drain of well-meaning intentions that just don't make it to the page. I mean, the sing-song of rhyme was there, and I was aware that it was good, it was very good, and I thought I would remember, but life gets in the way sometimes.
I'm Sophie Marie Nutter, and I'm from Rochester, Minnesota. And I've been writing since I can remember. He overwaters the plants, crosses it off his to-do list. Each day he drowns those flowers. He doesn't know differently. doesn't know how to stop giving. He never learned when to stop. His eyes well up, tears brimming over. Nearly he gasps, tries to hold them back. He speaks so softly, I can hear him. The tone says more than the words. The sound escapes, but he can't capture the depth of the feelings of the inability to erase, to be proactive instead of reactive. So trying each day to write in a different style or take the old examples of my writing and put them forward today and how I relate with them is probably what I'm really trying to do.
This is called 9 Guide Meridian. I will say that salt cedar reminds me of your mouth. We'll say that tracked and shackled. We'll say I am memory manacled to this breath leads me back. Shock of moments, a bristle. Creosote in bloom, manzanilla, a bristle. Bright yellow bushes, a testament to the wet earth that has waited for this alchemical choir, the crackle of cedar sap, shifting its stolid molecules up and over mountains, the colors of smoke. Arroyo darkling guitar, tentative and melancholy, shouldering blue herons out to the veins and tendons of the waters of March.
For more information about this story and other Our Town features, connect with us on Facebook, Twitter at KSMQ #OurTown or ksmq.org/OurTown.
Come back to me, my lover. I never want another. Bring back.
Hey, you know, we are serious about asking you for ideas for the show. We'll even take quirky suggestions like this one that we got from a viewer, recounting all the obscure national celebration days. For example, did you know Friday, April 29th is National Arbor Day? Folks in Rochester paired up their love of trees and earth on April 22nd by planting 275 trees last week. Our Neighbors, a local community group, said more than 200 volunteers picked up a shovel for the benefit of the Bandel Drive neighborhood in northwest Rochester, northwest our town. Nice work there. National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day is April 30th this year. The Paws and Claws Humane Society has been helping Rochester area dogs and cats since about 1974, and they probably have one just your size. And if you aren't in a position to adopt a pet, you can join them on their pet walk, which takes place Saturday, May the 7th. National Truffle Day is May 2nd. I'm not sure if that's chocolate or mushrooms or oil. Either way, you can find the chocolate variety at University Square downtown. And the mushroom foraging season begins in May. If you're not into trampling through the woods, you can find truffle oil in many gourmet shops and restaurants around our town. And of course, the not so obscure Mother's Day, May 8th this year. Just giving you a little heads up on that. So you can order those flowers, pick up a card, maybe a box of truffles. That's it for Our Town Rundown this week. Don't forget, really, send us your show ideas here at rochester@ksmq.org. Next, Jennifer Rogers introduces us to ladies who provide an excellent breakfast. Our Town Walkabout is next.
Hi guys, I'm here with Justin on East Center Street. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good.
Okay, well, so tell me about your chickens.
So,
like you have 3 of them, right?
Yeah, so I have 3 chickens. You probably can't really see them very well right now. 3 is the limit that you're allowed to have in the city.
Okay, so is one of those a rooster?
No, none of them are roosters. We're actually not allowed to have roosters.
Like, you can't mate them, right?
No. So
okay.
I have no interest in that. I just like collecting the eggs. Also, my neighbors would really not be happy with me if I had a rooster.
So can we take them out and take a look at them?
Yeah, let's get them out. And if you wanted to grab a little bit of, these are mealworms. They're dead. So she'll come right up to us. The other 2 are going to be a little bit more shy.
Sketchy. Ah, she bit me. Hi. Oh, the brown one's for sure is like kind of nervous.
Yes.
Okay.
And this one you can pet, and she does this really funny thing. Yeah. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, hello. She's gorgeous. Oh my God. Hello. First time for everything.
This one's a black sex link. This one's a silver lace. So I just have them out in the yard a lot of times, and they just wander around the yard.
Okay.
Part of their coop is an open area where they can hang out during the winter. I keep them out here all winter long.
Is this where they lay eggs?
They do. They lay eggs. So over here is where I can collect the eggs.
Okay, and those are the normal colors that they hatch. Awesome. And you make breakfast with them?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
My 2-year-old son loves collecting the eggs and carries them back. That's our chicken coop. We used to not have a fence when we first had the chickens, and the chickens did cross the road. I have not figured out why.
Well, thank you so much, Justin, for having us.
Thank you.
And I'm Jennifer Rogers, your host with Our Town Walkabout.
Brad Jones from the CVB is here to answer today's big question.
What role can you play to help others fall in love with Rochester?
Back in a moment.
Our past. Remembering what made us who we are today. Brought to you by the History Center of Olmsted County.
Rochester's arts and culture scene today owes much to a lifelong resident, Daisy Plummer. Born in 1878, Plummer was outspoken, well-informed, and good-humored, but above all, she loved music. An accomplished pianist, she studied piano here and in Chicago, practiced 4 hours a day for most of her life, and often performed for friends and guests. Her interests went beyond performing, though. As a young woman, she requested donations from businesses to start a civic music program. She later became a founding member of the Rochester Music Society in 1912 and helped form the Rochester Symphony Orchestra. When the Rochester Arts Association formed in 1924, Plummer joined as a charter member and was among the first donors to the proposed art museum. Plummer continued her commitment to the arts by donating her home to the Rochester Art Center. The house, now owned by the city and known as the Plummer House of Arts, carries her legacy forward as it remains a place for social and cultural gatherings today.
Rochester welcomes nearly 3 million visitors each year. That's right, I said 3 million. There are a lot of people in town on any given day who don't know much about our city.
Brad Jones is Executive Director of Rochester Convention and Visitors Bureau. With the big question, the answer to the big question, how can we all as individuals help somebody else fall in love with Rochester?
Yeah, well, I think it starts with first impressions and also being prepared for answering questions and suggesting things to do and just simply answering their question and making them feel comfortable. So it's very purposeful and we live in a great community, and I think people already are very caring, and so there's lots of answers to that, but I think just being friendly and helpful is a big one.
You know, I work right downtown. I'm often walking over to the Mayo campus or to University Square, and there is not a day that I go there that I don't see someone walking around looking, you know, up at the sky trying to figure out where they're supposed to be, and it's very easy to just stop over and say, where are you supposed to be?
Yeah.
Let me help you get there.
Yeah, about 5 years ago we started actually a program with just using your example. It's called the Certified Tourism Ambassador Program. And we train our hospitality industry. I don't know if you know, but we have the second largest workforce in the city. We have over 12,000 full-time employees in hospitality. And over the last several years, we've trained about 1,500 of these folks. And they wear a button or a pin like mine here. And they've been through classes in how to serve visitors and how to the power of suggesting itineraries and the power of answering questions. Just a simple question. Most people will think that they want your opinion. They don't. There's a method to asking more questions to actually get to what they're asking you and to provide the best possible information for them. So again, you know, we've thought about that. We've designed a program, the CTA program, around that.
How do you track all the people? Jen said 3 million a year. How do you know that?
Well, we have a lot of hotels, and we have a lot of businesses that capture that data on an ongoing basis. So, you know, we know that 70% of our visitors come here for Mayo Clinic in some form or fashion. And then we have other drivers like meetings and conventions, sports, things of that nature. So just capturing all that data tells us how many people come here on an annual basis.
And what's the profile? Is there a profile of a typical visitor? You said there's most of them are here for the clinic and not under the best of circumstances sometimes, you know?
Yeah, sure. Well, we get visitors from over 120 different countries. So it's vast, and part of our program that we're actually launching last week actually is a experience accreditation program. An experience accreditation is an opportunity for businesses to better serve visitors, and it's meant to really elevate our total visitor experience. And part of that is understanding the visitor. And we have many different cultures, we have many different profiles of visitors. And so, you know, one of the things that we've really done is study those folks and understand really the gaps that exist in the experience. And all these programs we're developing are really to elevate that total experience, the visitor experience.
And so, clearly you're telling us what the benefits of this accreditation are, but what prompted you to first pursue it?
Yeah. Well, we noticed through research and data that there was a gap that existed. And so when people come to the world-renowned Mayo Clinic, they have a brand and they have a certain expectation that exists. And when we studied it, actually visitors spend about 70% of their time in the community, not at the clinic. And we found an experience gap there that when people left the clinic that they felt. So this program is to address that gap, but also create a seamless experience. So when somebody leaves the clinic or goes to the clinic, there's the same level of service, the same level of care that exists outside the clinic in Rochester that exists inside the clinic.
We've got why, what, who, and how.
Yeah.
Those are a lot of big questions.
Right. Well, I think the new thing is really the opportunity for businesses to become crystal clear on that visitor experience. So we needed to address our workforce through CTA, which we've done. We needed to create a benefit for the business to go through these. So now you'll see the experience accreditation logo next to those businesses that are accredited. So there's benefit in greater referral from us, from the clinic and other organizations to people that have gone through this. And then we also needed a real-time measurement to see how the visitor experience is going. So we actually launched a survey. It's called myrochesterexperience.com. And people go and they fill out a survey that takes less than a minute, 5 questions. And that tells us where we are on a daily basis with visitor experience. So if a new gap emerges, we'll know about it in real time. And you know the other thing is what's called a service recovery system, and this is really the first of its kind. We've developed a service recovery system for the entire city. So if I'm serving you at a hotel and you tell me about something that happened, either good or bad, I can now take your information, put it into a service remark portal, and that actually goes right back to the business that it's about in real time. So it gives us the opportunity to capture that, give it to the business, and they can take action.
And are you finding that businesses are really using this?
They are. When I take a complaint from somebody, the most prevalent thing that they say is, I just wanted to let somebody know. And so I've always pondered the question, how are we letting people know? And so this service remark portal does just that. In a matter of 30 seconds, I can have a real-time complaint or compliment to a business in Rochester from an experience that just happened. So they can act on that, they can take it. If you're an accredited business, they're required to respond to it, but all businesses have the opportunity to get this feedback in real time and just make their business better.
So in time, they'll see that logo, and business or people coming in will know, hey, or is it not that kind of a thing?
Yeah, for instance, on our website, if you were to search hotels, you'll get, before this, you'd get basically a randomized list of all the hotels. Well, now we sort, and the accredited hotels will come up first. Same for restaurants, same for retail, and same for transportation. So the neat thing also is early on in this process, we had those 4 sectors represented from the businesses themselves, and they built the standards for their own segments. It wasn't us or the clinic telling them what to do. It was really, leaders in those segments building the best practices. So, and now they manage it on an ongoing basis. So.
Wow, a little science, a little creativity, a little art. That's really fascinating.
And there is a science to visitor experience.
Of course there is.
Yeah. Fascinating. Thanks a lot, Brad.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And that's it for us today. Join us next week when we get the scoop on Rochester's best fishing hole, just in time for the opener.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Our Town, the show about Rochester.
For more information of Our Town features, connect with us on Facebook, Twitter at KSMQ #OurTown, or ksmq.org/ourtown.